Hey guys, Dan here at Camp Pondo, and we are excited. Today is a historic day in the history of our camp. We are officially launching our fundraising campaign for our new chapel, and we are calling that the barn raising. And Becky is here somewhere.
I'm here.
Here she is.
I'm ready.
This is Becky, and she is wearing a tool belt, and I'm not totally sure why you're wearing a tool belt. Why are you wearing a tool belt?
Because you need tools.
You need
to
tools
raise a barn.
to raise a barn.
Yes.
Oh, I see. And a hairbrush.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Maybe.
Awesome. Obviously, guys, we're going to be like super informal. We just want to communicate information to you today and make the process that we're going to go through as clear as possible. So if we come across as weird, then that's the goal. That's our hope. We are. So, yeah, we aren't actually raising the barn at this point. You're a little ahead of yourself.
Yes. Okay.
But we are beginning to raise the money so that we can eventually raise the barn. And our goal for this campaign is to raise $700,000 in order to fund this new 500-seat amazing chapel. We want this place to finish out as like a rustic old barn. It'll look like something that's always been here, but it'll still be decked out with sound and lights and video and all the cool stuff, but then it'll be kind of vintagey, barny looking at the same time. So yeah, we just want to give you a heads up on where we're going, give you some instructions as to how you can help us specifically with the campaign, because we're really calling you as students and youth pastors to really help us spearhead this campaign. And we're going to use a crowdfunding approach, kind of like I don't know if I'm allowed to use the term Kickstarter, but I'm going to do it anyway. Kind of like Kickstarter, where bands will raise money to make an album. Now, we don't fit under the Kickstarter kind of approach, but there is another site that's similar to that we're going to use, and it's called CrowdRise.
Right.
CrowdRise.com/barnraising is where you will find our campaign and where you can come and get involved and participate, join the team, build youth pastors. We're really calling you to build a team of your students, and it's going to be amazing.
Awesome. So what can we do right now? How do we get started?
The best way to get started is go to crowdrise.com/barnraising.
/barnraising, one word, right?
Yes, /barnraising, one word. I actually have a little mock-up of it here. I'm not sure if you can see that on camera or not, but this is a little mock-up of what we've got. But the main thing that you need to focus on as a student or as a youth pastor, there's two buttons. One will say donate to this campaign. The other will say fundraise for this campaign. You want to focus on the button that says fundraise for this campaign, because you're building a team. As a youth pastor, you're building a team of your students. So you'd have Joe, youth pastor, he would build his team, or Joni, youth pastor, she would build her team, and so that's how you would do. That's where you would start. You'd hit the fundraise for this campaign button, and you can add your, maybe a photo or a logo or something, and then students, then you could come in under your youth pastor and join their team, and you're also building your own page at the same time.
Wow.
So you could put your picture in there. And
but why do I need my own page? What happens there?
Yeah, you have your own page because you are inviting your parents, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents to come and donate to your page.
Okay.
So they're coming and donating to your page, but you as a youth group, you are cumulatively adding up the amount of money that you raise. So we'll be able to track what each youth group raises as a group, and then what each person raises individually. That'll all be kind of on display there as well.
Well, how do I actually get this information out to like my parents or my coworkers or any of those people? How do I do that?
Right. This is mostly social media driven. So you will use Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of the social media avenues that you have at your disposal.
Can I just do a link in the email? So if I wrote someone a note and put the link in there, they could go right to that page. That's awesome.
You could send a link in the email, send them right to crowdrise.com/barnraising. Then they can find you because your team will be listed. And it's easy. It's all about, really, guys, the key to this is participation. That's really where it's at. It's a lot of people doing a little bit, and if that happens, if we have a lot of people, broad participation, doing a little bit, it's all going to add up, and we will easily reach our goal if we get broad participation.
Well, that's the whole idea of a barn raising in our history. Everybody brought what they could and added to the day, and the barn was built. So it's kind of the same idea.
Yeah, it's a community coming together, and you are the community that we are calling on to help us raise this money for this new chapel so that we can reach more people just like you, and include in your campaign, hey, this is what God did for me at camp, and this is how God impacted me at camp. Include all of that in your story as you're building your page. You can kind of tell your story about what God's done at camp in your life, and make that connection all the way back to, hey, help us do more of this. Help us reach more kids with the gospel. So that's your part in this campaign.
Sounds awesome. Anything else we need to know?
There are awards.
Awards?
We have awards if you participate, and I'm going to go through these by memory because remember, we're being super informal here. Because that's how we roll. If you raise at least $250, that's kind of the minimum that we're calling you to raise, then you get this really cool barn raising t-shirt. It says Nailed It on it. It's really cool, red t-shirt, awesome, if you raise at least $250. Then the next step up is if you raise at least $500, then up in the eaves of the new chapel there's glass way up high in the eaves. Your name will be etched in the glass that's way up high in the eaves if you raise at least $500, and you will also get the barn raising t-shirt.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
If you raise $1,000, the lobby as you walk into the
chapel,
to the barn, is going to be brick on the floor. And your name will be engraved in one of those bricks on the floor if you raise at least
$1,000.
$1,000.
Okay.
Yes. Then we have a couple of youth pastor specials, and these are cumulative. So youth pastors, if your youth group is the first group to hit the $10,000 mark, cumulatively, you're the first group to hit that. So it's kind of a race right out of the gates. Then you get dinner, you and your spouse, dinner with best-selling author Mike Erie.
Awesome. I would do that.
And his wife. So if you're the first group to hit that $10,000 mark, then you get a private dinner with Mike and his wife, Justine.
Awesome. That sounds fun.
Awesome. Then we have another youth pastor special. Any group that cumulatively raises $20,000 or more, okay, your youth group cumulatively raises $20,000 or more, you get a half-day mentoring session, group mentoring session with Doug Fields.
Doug Fields. Oh, that's awesome.
Youth ministry guru Doug Fields. Half day of just informal youth ministry mentoring with Doug. And then the top fundraiser out of that group gets a private dinner with Doug and his wife Kathy.
Oh,
you and your spouse get a private dinner with Doug and his wife Kathy.
That's awesome.
So there are some cool awards as just a fun way to to encourage you and to say thank you for helping us with the barn raising campaign.
Yeah, and we are so grateful for anything that you can do. So besides the awards, you get our thankfulness. So appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're off to the races, guys, and excited that you're a part of this, and we look forward to all that God's going to do through this new chapel and your participation. Right. Thank you.